everybody's got their own swing. Like yours is unique, but I like a lot of parts of your swing. It's just, you've just never pushed the ground like that.
Ever.
But I'm telling you, if you do that enough, when you go do your old one, like do one where you early extend.
It feels so stupid to think about already.
It won't make sense in time. You'll be like, that's not how you create.
It just feels like this entire part of my body just does not exist. Like my entire golf swing for my whole life has been from like right here.
No, it's been 2, 3, it's been
and trying
arms.
to like.
You just showed it. The secret of red was dead. Wasn't in the game.
Whoa.
Cool.
Let's go. There we go.
Like it. I like it.
Oh my God. All I want to do is hit balls for like 7 hours. So we have been to TPI a couple times. It's almost always for golf club purposes. But TPI Fitness is like a whole other beast.
That's really where Dr. Greg and the rest of the TPI staff are at, because that's where the gym is at.
Everybody is like there to just do golf, which is awesome. It's like a little golf Disneyland playground.
It's kind of intimidating operation that they're running there. They've got people hooked up to all kinds of different machines. You never know what they're doing. You've got professional golfers swooping in kind of under cover of darkness.
It's kind of a pinch me moment. I remember walking in there and being like, wow, this is awesome, man. We go in and we go meet Dr. Greg, and he kind of gives us an overview of the day. And then we started doing our assessment, and the day started from there.
First of all, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kind of fun to do the screen together. If you guys don't mind, we'll just kind of do this together.
We'll do it.
So we're going to go through a bunch of movements. What we're going to do is I'm going to do a movement. I'm going to watch you guys do it. It doesn't tell me what you can't do. It just gives me an idea of what's the best way for you to do it, right? So it just helps me understand why you swing the way you swing, and maybe why your swing would look different than another player. Well, let's do it. All right, come on.
Dr. Rose, I mean, Greg is a professional, I'll say, first and foremost, but also is like one of the coolest guys that I've ever met in golf.
I mean, I follow TPI on Instagram. I knew who he was. I knew from talking to people. They were like, oh my gosh, he can look at like 3 things and immediately know what's wrong without even making you take a golf swing, which is like, that's crazy.
All right, here we go. Hands like this. Let me see you flex. 5-iron posture. We're gonna go right arm, and then we're gonna go left arm. I want to see you squat as far as you can squat, keeping the stick over your footprint.
I can't even remember how many different moves there were, but like basic stuff, like just how do you move your arm, like left to right or up or down?
I want to see you guys just lift your butt up in the air.
And he's insanely observant.
Can you keep that right hip up? The right pelvis wants to drop down. Wants to turn more going right. Did you notice that? See the right foot wanting to flare out?
For sure.
How far can you go keeping it square? And compare to the other side. That's a tight ankle right there. Come back down, keeping this lock, just go this one. Way easier on the left. Right. Okay.
He's looking at all 3 of us taking like measurements sometimes, like with a protractor, and he's always just writing down in his little sheets, and we don't know what's good or what's bad. We're just like, all right.
Let's see, good disassociation. Right toe touch was a little harder than left. A lot of right stuff. You sleep on your right side?
It's a little bit intimidating. It feels a little bit like going into the presidential fitness assessment in gym class when you're in 5th grade.
You're gonna go straight down and then come straight back up. Could you do that 8 times if I asked you?
Greg's awesome at cutting the tension and making jokes and making it into a dumb competition.
All the years of art paying off right there. Man, I think I need to fall out of a helicopter. This is damn good. You gonna let DJ beat you? Come on.
And it's like super fun to be there with Casey and Cody, who are also nervous about, being on camera, and vulnerable, I guess, is probably the word. Like, hey man, we're gonna show up with a camera crew and watch you work out tomorrow. But luckily everybody involved made it into a pretty fun thing.
We have an app that we track all of our players and build programs. I'll put all this into the app. It's got an incredible little AI machine learning engine on it. It'll take a look at all your stuff, and it will build what it thinks you should do as a workout. It can do 7 days a week, 1 day a week, 3 days a week, and do 15 minutes. If you say 3 days a week, 15 minutes, it'll give you the best 15-minute 3 days a week. If you say 3 days a week, 60 minutes, but you only do 15 minutes, it'll suck.
Yeah.
So be honest on what you'd want.
Well, let's do 3 days, 45.
4 days a week at 30 minutes.
Do I hear 5? No, it's kidding.
I'm gonna keep it 3 and 30.
What I do is I let the AI, I just take my opinion out of it, I let it send you a workout. Then I go, after we're done, I go look at it and see if I agree or disagree. If there's any things that are different, you'll see a second recommendation of some additional exercises coming from me. That way you can just screw that guy, want to know what the computer says, you can see that too, okay? All right, let's go hit some balls.
Like the thing that he says before you arrive is pretend I'm a genie. What are your 3 wishes that you would love to have as it pertains to your golf game? And that's a pretty bold claim to be able to make, I think. Is just like, I can fix anything. And after spending a day with him, I'm like, no, I think he kind of can.
What does getting better look like? And what is that roadmap going to be? And it's different for everybody.
Always had the bow wrist at the top.
Yeah.
It's like, where should things be? Like, how can I drill in these feels so that I know what that feeling is like, so that I can chase that with every shot?
Yeah, it's all in good swings.
When I'm playing my best golf, I am a scratch golfer. And when I'm playing bad, I am lost, man. If it's something in my golf swing, if it's something in my fitness, I need to like raise my floor.
As I was saying.
I know that's not like the most helpful answer, but he had clearly heard it before and also knew like the right questions to ask. Okay, let's get specific on like what you're talking about.
I would say before anybody gives you advice, you'd want to make sure they know what you're doing, how you're doing it, and you want to make sure they know why you're doing it, right? So we always say you got to know the what, the how, and the why, or else they're just guessing. The physical screen is a big why, like, oh, that's why he swings this way, or she's doing this because maybe her hip doesn't work. And then before the what, I actually like to look at how you create power and energy, and that's the force plate.
That was a new thing for me. I never swung on force plates before.
This is the right plate.
Okay.
This is the left plate. So if you stand here, we're not going to get anything. I got to have one foot on the left, one foot on the right. Anywhere on the plate, you just got to be on the plates.
Okay.
When you're ready and you want to record, again, it's up to you. You just hold still for 2 seconds.
Okay.
Double plate ready.
Now it's recording.
I'm very excited. This is very nerdy and I'm very into it.
Thinking about your golf swing in a completely different way, it's such an eye-opening experience.
Probably the most research on golf mechanics have been on force plates in the last 5 years. They asked us, with all the technology now, if you can only have one thing for the rest of your career, what would it be? And we both said force plates. Everything else I can get in your same position, but I can't feel what you're doing. This, I can almost feel what you're doing.
Thinking about the progression of having lessons that were not even videoed, so you really have no clue except for what they're looking for, to where we're at now with force plates and 3D and everything else like that. It's crazy to look at the evolution of it all.
We can measure any type of force you're putting into the ground. Now, there are 3 basic forces that humans apply, right? There can be a lateral force. That's weight shift, right and left. So you can push to the right, you can push to the left. Now, if I say you push to the right, there's a million ways to push to the right, right? So like, you can push with your right foot, you can push with your left foot, and both of them can make you go to the right. Depends on how you do it, right? So not only do we see if you're pushing right or left, we see how you're pushing right or left. You can also push up and down, right? So there's a vertical force, right? You can unload and you can push up and down. You can also push forward and backwards, heel to toe or anterior, posterior. You can push this way. So you have these 3 forces, and we can measure exactly what you're doing, when you're doing it, and how much you're doing it. Now, if you take 2 forces, right? So if I take a force and I put a force on this club and I just push it, the club's going to move this way. If I take 2 forces, I apply one force here, it creates what's called a torque or a twist. We also create torques in our body, right? So we do this one that everybody knows, twisting. Okay, that's a twisting torque. We can also twist this way, right? This is called frontal plane torque. I call it rock and roll. So there are rock and rollers, right? And then there are twisters, right? And then there's the combination of the 2 that move the club. You can also torque this way. These are benders, right? 2 of you described bending problems maybe a little bit more than you want, right? This way, right? So we can see these torques and we can see these forces.
I have never used force plates, or at least not to that level where somebody's like actually interpreting the data as thoroughly and eloquently. All the kinematic sequence was stuff that would have gone so far over my head if I tried to just like sit and read about it. And he has explained it so many times. He knows the perfect way to explain it to make all of it make sense.
There is a very common sequence of ground reaction forces that the best players in the world do. It's called the kinetic sequence. They get to the top of the backswing, or actually slightly before the top of the backswing, usually things start. First force that we tend to see on the best players in the world is lateral. There's a weight shift. Just like a hitter, they're going to weight shift, just like a pitcher is going to step. Golfers, even though their feet aren't moving, well, some are moving now, right? The first thing we're going to see is a weight shift. So typically we see lateral weight shift. Now, anytime you do weight shift, most players, and you just talked about shallowing, most players At this point in time, we'll also start to rock and roll. That shallows the club. Okay, that's frontal plane torque, we call it rock and roll. So there's a weight shift, rock, then we usually see twist, and then the last force we tend to see is jump, is a vertical, and creates this. So the most common kinetic sequence is lateral, rock, twist, jump. Okay, so the first thing I look at is I go, is that what you do? Or do you guys do, like, we have, a lot of people that get up here and the first thing they do is they might twist, and they might jump, and then they might go lateral, like we see all kinds of, but that all those forces help us understand why the club moves or it moves, okay? So the first thing we're gonna look at is sequence on all three of you.
Double plate ready.
Okay, driver.
Woo! Flush.
Cody, you up?
Double plate ready.
Nice. All right, DJ.
Double plate ready.
All right, now we're gonna go to driver. Okay. Sorry to do it like this, but I think this is the best way to keep you. Yeah.
Very much like learning as a team.
Cool. Yeah. I think you learn from each other's swings too.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Yeah. All right, DJ, since you're up here first, let's look at yours first. The top graph, the purple, that's lateral, motion, weight shift. The second graph, that's rock and roll. The next graph is twist, and that's jump, right? So it goes lateral, rock, twist, jump. That's the normal sequence.
Okay.
Now what I did is I put a little yellow dot when you did each of these, right? And we're gonna look to see what goes first, what goes second, what goes third. So as we start going, you can see at the top, you hit the lateral first. So you go lateral first. That's what the best way.
One for one.
One for one.
All right. Rocking.
It's almost a dead heat. It looks like you now rock and twist at the same time. So there's a little rock twist. That's either the rock's late or the twist is early.
Okay.
And I would say on yours, it looks like the twist is early. And then here's vertical. Now think about this. When you said, hey, my iron timing's off, I'm like, well, it's big time off right here.
Yeah.
Now I go, okay, let me see. So he gets over here, and with the iron, his first move is he twists a little bit, and then he starts to go lateral, and then he goes,
Got it.
I'm like, okay, yep.
I feel so seen by that. That is like, yes, that's exactly what it feels like.
This is incredible.
I would say at this point in time, my head is both swimming and the entire situation is just revelatory. Like I'm still kind of coming down from it.
If I look at the majority of players on the downswing, there's no space between that line and their butt.
Right.
Where yours is like probably the driver head.
Yeah.
It's harder for you to do this motion. It's easier for you to do this motion. If I said squat and lift, this would be easy for you. Yeah. This is not easy for you, right? So you kind of go the other way.
Watching him diagnose problems and work through issues and just like really try to get to the cause and effect of everything. It was like truly something I could watch every day.
Like I always say, there's a box right here. The only thing allowed in the box is your hands and the handle. If your body invades the box, the hands are like, where am I supposed to go? So everything's about getting back to center face contact. There's only a couple of good ways to do this. I can go this way, that's the block, right? Or I can go this way, and that's the hook. And that leaves those two misses, and that's where that becomes the problem, right?
Like I think TPI could put a webcam up in the corner of that hitting bay, and I would watch Greg just diagnose golfers all day, every day. It's the most fascinating thing in the world to me.
All right, coming back. Casey,
Here we go.
let's take a look. Look at you, this is pretty close. You rock and weight shift at the same time. Watch this. Lateral, rock,
Let's go.
twist.
180 with the jump.
Jump.
That's the right sequence with the iron. Where does the jump happen?
Like when my club's like all the way here.
Is there enough time for those forces to get to the club now?
No.
It was a little like to me like kind of backwards from what I thought the results were going to be going into it.
Okay, so this, I look at this and I'm like, you're creating these ground reaction forces.
But I'm not using
Unfortunately, it's so late, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Right, so this is your brain going, screw the lower body, I'm just gonna do it. Upper body's doing it.
You could have given me $1 million to say what's stronger, upper body or lower body for me. And I would have been like all day lower body. This assessment was like, nope, you're way better at upper body. I'm like, what?
So I look at this and I go, what is going on? Why is the timing variable so off? Like there was this big gap over here, right? And that's because there's something very obvious that you're doing that I want to point out here.
That's good. We
Good.
like
This
that.
is good. We love
that's
obvious
great.
Yeah.
fixes. Or backwards.
Exactly,
Yeah.
we call that a reverse spine angle.
Okay.
Which way is your spine leaning? Towards the target.
Yeah.
Which way is Cody's? If I look at 98% of PGA Tour players,
Yeah.
they're away from the target.
Okay.
Okay, so now why does this matter? When I turn this way,
Yeah.
can I go over here? First of all, if I twist, I'm dead, right? Like if I'm over here and I twist, that's actually not a problem, right? But if I'm this way and I start twisting, this is 36 handicaps. But number two, and probably the most important thing, is based on all of our data here, and we have more data here than anywhere in the world. It's the number one cause of lower back pain in golf.
Oh, cool.
Does your back ever bother you after you're playing?
Not really.
It will at some point, if I let you continue doing this.
Okay.
It's not if, it's when on this.
God.
So
All
this
right.
will save your back so that you can play forever and not have back problems. But if you keep doing that, it's just not if, it's when your back's gonna get
Okay.
hurt.
That was kind of like the big light bulb moment of like, oh yeah, we should fix that if I want to continue to play this game for 50 years, right? So yeah.
Now my question is that just you don't know what you're doing, or is that a physical body swing connection? So let me look to see.
It's
Oh,
probably
now
a combination of both.
I go back and look. What did I not like in the physical?
Oh, my right side of everything.
Your backswing, your right
Oh,
side.
yeah.
It made me feel like I really wanted to learn how to fix it so that I can keep playing golf. Like that's literally all I want to do is play golf.
You said I had a lack of understanding what's going on. Your spine angle is the problem.
Okay,
It's forcing you to do these things. So if things go bad, focus on spine angle first.
Okay.
We'll talk about the drills for that. Cody, according to this, we should just take you out, put you out of your misery. Now watch this. Lateral first.
Okay.
Yeah, like that.
Rock next.
Perfect.
Twist next.
Look at this, jumping. Way to go.
That's the perfect sequence. That's what we look for sequence-wise. And look at
that.
where the shaft is at the final ground reaction force. Not even at vertical. Really early. That's some good stuff right there, Cody. So the rock's a little. It's in the right sequence, just a little low. It's not a lot of rock, and then vertical's really low. 147, 150. I mean, you're at almost 50% more vertical. But guess what? Where's most of the vertical come from? Which leg? Hey, you don't like to use that left. Love the
I
sequence.
would like to.
I get it. I get it. Watch your right hip now, and you tell me what your right hip does.
Almost up.
It goes up and forward. See it going up and forward? I mean, it's so subtle, but it's not. That's a big deal. That's the right foot trying to generate speed and torque versus the left doing it. The right hip goes down in that way. Yep, right there. That's what it does. You don't do that.
He's really good at reading people, and it's like, if I'm gonna tell you this about your body, like at what level am I really talking to this person at?
You get in your swing and you're pushing from your right, so you're pushing this way, where most guys, this drops down as the left starts to jump.
Whoa.
Because he can go off to like crazy, obviously like PhD level stuff, or he can talk to me like, yo, your left butt cheek just isn't working.
I'm telling you right now, this is 100% body swing connection. Your swing is a product of your body, right? And if I gave anybody that body, they'd do the same thing. Left side's supposed to do 2 times the amount of work as the right. It's the other way around with you. We gotta go get strong on your left side, and we can actually burn the left leg. It won't matter, you're not using your golf swing anyway. So we gotta get that strong. And once that feels strong, then we need to show you how to get in there.
I want to change my 30-minute thing earlier. I'm going to go 60 minutes now. I just want to prove that I'll be a good student. Like, I think we can build this up.
Are you being serious?
100%.
Good, I like what you're saying. I would do the same thing if I was
Yeah.
you.
I know it's hard to make that first step, but everybody should go find a TPI certified professional who truly understands what body swing connection is. They can make the best recommendation for your health, your game, you name it.
You need to become a superhuman on that left side in the gym.
Okay.
Okay? I'm telling you that will change your golf career. Now, it'll also change your life a little bit. Like, there's your right hip's the right side's gonna break down.
For sure.
It's doing all the work.
Yeah.
Everything that I learned coming out of my assessment was just completely solidified and validated through the force plates.
First day of the rest of your life here.
For real. I mean, this is like the reason why people come to TPI to see this stuff.
We gotta fix the reverse spine angle, and we're gonna make left leg Superman.
Love it.
Ready, break.
Let's get some food.
Go team.
Team go.
Oh, this is awesome.
Cool. All right, cool.
I'm so pumped up.
Honestly, this was incredible.
After we all go through what the big thing is in each of our swings, we go into the gym again. And in the gym, we start working on like kind of retraining our bodies how to fix these flaws.
All right, so Cody, I'm gonna do yours because I think we can finish yours real quick. Have you seen a lot of the rotary chair stuff that we do? Yeah. I'd like to just see how your leg reacts. Come on, Spikes.
There is not a thing that we were told to do that was not demonstrated, and then we did it ourselves.
You're gonna push, but at the same time, you're gonna turn 180 degrees.
So we have the feels for everything that we want our potential reel to be.
A golf jump is as you squat, your arms go up, and as you jump, your arms go down. Let me see you do that. This means nothing. They paid me 20 bucks just to get that on camera. No, it's kidding. Is that harder than just the straight push?
Yeah.
I need to check one thing over here.
God, it's like watching him try to solve a puzzle. It's amazing.
This is helping me a lot.
Oh, we just got another clue. All right.
The legs drive the arms. Legs drive the arms. The arms don't drive the legs. Now switch legs. Any chance you doing that over here?
No.
No. Okay.
I've had very traumatic injuries in my lower back. I've had surgeries to fix my lower back.
You're gonna raise this up? Is it different? I can already tell. That lit it up right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
But at no point in time did I realize that because of my body decided to compensate, basically the next level below that completely shut off.
How different was that?
Big time.
Okay, stand up with your right leg. Switch. Okay.
We always joke around about players WDing from events being like, yeah, my glutes aren't firing, something's going on. But I'm telling you, I saw that firsthand.
Make your right glute contract. Yeah? Okay, so squeeze in. Yep. Okay, now let me see to your left one. Can you do the glute?
I can't.
That was definitely like my single aha moment. My left butt cheek did not work.
Can you do it?
No.
Truly did not work. It did not fire at all. And I didn't realize that until he told me that.
Keep trying.
It's nothing.
Keep trying.
I'm trying. I don't know where it's at.
Literally, my left butt cheek would just not flex at all. And my right was doing everything.
Left glute. Is it starting to come back?
Yeah.
Okay, so with some practice, this can get really good, right? I'm going to create something at the start where it's like I'm going to resurrect the glute on the left side, right? This is why the core was shut down when we took power. Like it's neurologically, in my opinion, has been shut down. Now, for probably some really good reasons, right? There's been a lot of trauma and stuff in there. But this explains why a lot of the, especially the lateral part of the glute, which helps create some of the twists and the rotation in there as well. It's an internal rotator of the hip, and it's completely shut down. Right now, when I say raise your leg, you're like, dude, it's dying, because you're not using the right muscle. You've shut down the ones and you're trying to use ones that don't do this, and they're like, dude, you're killing me right now. So I think if we can get those active and get these to loosen up, it'll almost turn the switch back on. Once we turn the switch back on, then the strength goes so much faster. Does that make sense? I don't think we can just jump into strength because you'll just start using the wrong muscles. There's a little routine called Comerford hip routine. There's a guy by the name of Mark Comerford out of England. I'm gonna give you this little workout and you're gonna look at it, you're like, that's stupid. Try it. You're gonna be dying.
The future injury prevention is like,
oh, it's great. But all jokes aside, we always say I'd rather be a total ass than a half ass because the research shows that if one glute's contracting, the other one's not, it creates torsions in the pelvis. The pelvis twists, and those torsions is where the pain comes. Any questions on what I want you to do?
No, it was incredible.
Okay. DJ, I've never met an early extender I can't break. And you are not going to be the first one. Okay.
see about that.
So we are going to go to the rotary chair.
Okay.
There's just such a big difference between like knowing what needs to happen and knowing how to implement what needs to happen. What Greg is so good at doing is diagnosing the problem and then understanding that it's not just something he can explain away.
I could tell you what to do, but that's not feel, right? I want you to feel what it feels like when a player pushes from the ground. Start your downswing. What do you normally do with your left foot?
Nothing.
Go to the top of your backswing, eyes closed. Now feel like you're pushing the chair backwards with a turn from the ball of the foot, like you did with a chair.
What he's telling you to do and what it should actually feel like might be completely different languages.
See how you just fell towards me?
Yeah.
There's no way you're pushing the chair backwards.
and he has all these little tips and tricks to get you to the point of understanding what language he's speaking.
Forget about your golf swing. Just push the chair backwards with the twist. Okay.
I hate to throw out a phrase like "I didn't know you were supposed to use the ground," because that's going to make me sound outrageously naive and silly. But kind of that's what we're dealing with a little bit.
It feels very much like this is driving everything. So to do anything with this foot just feels very strange.
Like that never even crossed my mind that like I should be thinking about my left foot. I have always like swung with my hands, and you know, you get to the top of the swing and I guess the hands need to come down. Let me just cast them down.
How different is that than your golf swing?
Way different. Whoa, that feels so much faster.
It is so much faster.
Yeah.
When you say, man, that just feels so uncoordinated, well, anything new is going to feel uncoordinated,
Totally.
right? You just need to do it a million times, right? So I like doing this with medicine balls. If I said, hey, let's go train for golf, throw against the wall, what would you do?
I'll tell you what, it made why people use golf shoes a lot more clear to me.
I actually want you to add a little step and throw.
Okay.
That was always a block I was on, like, why? I don't even understand why anybody needs to wear spikes.
I want the step to happen, and then the step throws the arms. Your arms are way too early.
Like, I could wear flip-flops. It's like, yeah, man, because you're not using the ground, like, at all.
We're getting closer.
The way he was having me throw those medicine balls was like the first time I've ever pushed off in that way in the golf swing in my life.
Just follow my rhythm.
As soon as it clicked, you can see it in video. I'm doing it wrong, I'm doing it wrong, I'm doing it wrong, and boom, there it is.
Now when the foot lands, yes.
Man, having a light bulb moment like that is worth the entire trip. Like that was what it was about.
Yeah, hello. Now we're talking. You understand that feeling right there? About to get fun.
There's a lot of these moments that, like, in order to be able to do this for a living, you have to just constantly make yourself look like an ass. And
Pretty much.
This is going to be one of those moments.
Okay, now think about this for a second. Watch me for a second. If you've been going like this, right, for a long time, usually you start to hit towards the heel. So instinctively, you start to get farther away from the ball.
Yeah.
Right? That feeds the problem. But now if I say go this way, if you're too far, you're going to miss the ball.
Right.
So believe it or not, you actually have to get a little closer so that you can get away.
That makes
Does that
sense.
make sense?
It does.
And just your whole thought is push with the left leg. That was
felt
better.
a lot better.
That
Yeah.
was better. Okay, hold on. That's really good. That's definitely the right one helped.
Yeah.
The left one's what's
Focus
missing.
on-
That's what's missing. And look at right here, halfway down, you're at 1.2 instead of 3 inches. You cut that.
It's
in
cut
half.
down to 1.2?
Yeah, I mean, so that's
Let's go. All
let's
right.
go. More left. More cowbell.
Okay.
Stay close.
Got a
Stay
fever.
close
Got
and
a
push
fever.
that left leg.
Ready?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Wow. Thrust 0.7 from 3. Normal's 1 inch. So that's below normal. That's really
You can talk to that one.
not early extension anymore.
Yeah.
That was really good. I look at this, I'm like, that's the drill you need to be working on.
That's crazy.
That is so much better. Okay. All right. The dreaded reverse spine angle. I'm trying to decide if I want to be nice or mean.
I can take it all.
Okay. I'm going to be mean. This is because I love you, okay? You're going to pull this up to your sternum, you're going to rotate and just push it away.
Dr. Greg just keeps tapping me and I just keep falling over.
If your spine tilts towards that target,
Yeah.
2 fingers, I'm just going to blow you over. I can do this all day. How are you going to stop me?
And then we finally got it to where I started getting it and he can't push me over. I finally figured out like where is that spine going that like I'm into him so I can't be pushed over.
Am I pissing you off?
No.
Well, I'm trying to. Now you got a chance.
There it is. There we go.
Get used to that feeling. Whatever you just did right there was really good.
Doing that thing with the bar and the resistance band, man, it's hard, but it ingrained in my head what I need to do.
Okay, backswing. I need that feeling.
And as soon as like we got that a couple times, like we ran right back to the fourth place and we were like, let's try this.
It's gonna feel like you're so far behind the ball. All I care about is you're not gonna let me throw you over.
Okay. You're sitting there and you're like, okay, I gotta go literally the opposite direction of what I've been doing for God knows how long.
Where's the club hitting, by the way?
Like behind.
Why? If you're now over here, and now you're late with your lateral, you have to go left now because before you were already left.
Yeah.
Now that you loaded right, it's so that you can go left.
Okay. You know, we get in and kind of flub, but it's getting there. We're looking at the picture and it's like, all right, I'm not here anymore. We're getting here.
You were here,
Yeah.
spine angle was here.
Yeah.
Now it's here.
Yeah.
In a second, I'm gonna say go in the middle. What we gotta do is we gotta get that sensation of legs driving the arms.
And the noise the freaking ball made the first time I kind of all clicked together.
Yeah.
That is so much better.
How good is that?
And then you're like, oh, that's what it's supposed to feel like.
You feel how different that is? Wow, that's, I mean, it's like night and day.
I was like, oh, I am good at something. I was like, oh.
You'll go back to reverse and you'll be like, I can't believe I used to do that. It'll feel so weird.
And then we did it again, and I'm like, oh, I did it twice in a row. Like, what?
That's, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
That sounded good.
All right.
God, how good is that?
All right, does everybody have an idea what I want you to do?
We go hit some balls?
I didn't know much about Dr. Greg Rose going in outside of what I've seen online. What he's been able to do is absolutely incredible. He's revolutionized, like, I would say, the golf fitness industry, but just an awesome human being who's extremely passionate about the work that he does.
Yeah, it was just fun to like watch everybody have their kind of eureka moment. Oh, like this is what I need to do, right?
Going and seeing someone like Greg and the team at TPI just like fills you with so much more confidence to be like, okay, I know that it might suck for a minute here, but at least I'm working towards getting better and working towards like a sustainable future.
And I guarantee you, no offense to DJ or Casey, but there's nobody who's hit their plan, their routines harder than I have. The very first thing I do is I do my TPI workout.
My drives are averaging 10 to 15 yards longer than they were before. I can say I think it definitely helps going to TPI.
Continuing on, I would have been on inversion boards the rest of my life, wondering why. You can't go hit balls anymore. When you want to go play golf, you can't walk anymore because it's painful to carry your bag. Then you're like, well, what's the point of doing this anymore?
I just want to be able to play golf like for a very long time.
We're finally back to square one, and like, I'm fired up. I'm excited to spend countless hours in the Texas heat trying to dig it out of the dirt. How do we get better? How do we get faster? Because I know I'm getting stronger.
I think I'm still at the beginning of the journey here, but what feels different is that I'm like very excited to be on the journey. It feels like a sustainable way to get better at the game rather than just grasping at straws and scrolling Instagram for swing tips. You know, I don't know that I'm ever going to be a +6, like winning the state open type of golfer, but I know that I can raise my floor and I can get better and get more consistent and get more enjoyment out of the game. And I think that the path we kind of started on this day is like a massive, massive part of that.
Well, guys, it was a pleasure.
That was so
my God.
awesome.
Hey, you got it.
That
It was a
was
pleasure.
incredible.
Pleasure. Yeah.
Dream day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You got it, guys. Always welcome.
Unbelievable. I can't wait to be an example in your future lesson. Like, oh yeah, no. Oh, you think that's bad? Check this guy out.